Hi, my name is William, the founder of LD Journey. This topic I'm covering is learning disability with mental health issues. I'm going to cover four things which I believe are the top things affect people with a learning disability with mental health issues, which are employment, poverty, friendship, and dating. I will share some personal things of my life, how these things affect me. Note there is another video I have created titled Facing Depression with a Learning Disability. This video I cover type of services that exist to get help with mental health issues. Employment. When I graduated in 2004 as a computer programmer, I was not able to find a full-time job in my trade until 7 years later. During those years, I was doing general labor work. Within those 7 years, there was many periods of massive layoffs resulted in me being on unemployment or welfare. This took a huge mental toll on me as I felt I would never be able to find a full-time job in my trade. It was exciting when I found my first full-time job in my trade 7 years later. However, after 3 years of employment, the company was doing massive layoffs and I was one of many people that got let go. For 2 years, I was doing general labor work on unemployment and welfare. I did have interviews for a computer programmer role, but never got the job. People with learning disabilities have a higher challenge to perform well on an interview. My mental state was getting worse and I almost didn't have the mental capacity to work. I spoke to everyone I know that I'm looking for a work as a computer programmer and what's the minimum pay I'm willing to work for. 5 months later, a person I knew gave me a chance to work for their company. 5 years later, I'm still employed with them. Poverty. Survival was a challenge for my life. Because I was living on my own since age 17 and Children's Aid was ending financial support when I graduated in 2004, I needed to ensure I could find an income to support myself. The jobs I was doing after graduation was barely enough money to support myself. For those periods, I was laid off many times, been on unemployment, or on welfare. This was not enough money to cover my living expenses. For what I was short to pay my bills, I did use a credit card. The dangerous side of this, since I was not able to pay the bill in full and had to make minimum payments on the credit card, I'm getting myself into more debt and paying high interest on those credit cards. This was adding a lot of stress in my life. I felt worthless at times as my classmates that did graduate were doing a lot better than me. There was a period I almost could have been bankrupt and homeless. As of in 2021, things are a lot better. I do have a stable income and my debts I have accumulated since 2004 will be paid off in full this year. Friendships. This is a challenge for many people with a learning disability to develop friendships. During my early childhood, it was hard for children to be interested in me since I had speech difficulties. I still managed to make a few friends, but it was not strong to the same level of children having friendships with each other that don't have a learning disability. In high school, it was a challenge to find someone interested to be my friend. During that time, I got my first computer and started to make friendships online. Though it was nice to have someone to speak to, it was not to the It's not the same versus having a local friend. In 2004, I moved to Toronto. For the first few years, I didn't try to make local friends. I felt very lonely. I got sick of feeling this way, so I joined a social anxiety group. After being a member for 6 months, I moved on and tried various social groups such as movie night and board game group. I felt better having local people to speak to. I also made a friend from one of those groups. Dating. There are many people that have a learning disability wants to be in a dating relationship with someone. The problem is a person with a learning disability does experience fewer odds being in a dating relationship than someone that does not have a disability. It can take a huge emotional toll on a person who wants to be in a dating relationship but not having much success. I was able to have dating relationships in my life, but most of them didn't last long. There was a point when I was single, things was not going well in my life, so I took a break from dating. The reason is I want to resolve issues that are affecting my life. During those years I took a break, it was hard being single, and I felt jealous at times when I saw a happy couple together. Taking a break was worth it as I was able to get my life in order. Because of this, when I meet new people, I don't focus on going about problems of my life. Instead, I focus on building that relationship. One of the hardest things for me to do was to have the courage to find services to help with my mental health issues. I'm glad I had the courage to do this, as it did help improve my mental state. If you haven't seen my video, Facing Depression with a Learning Disability, it is recommended for you to watch to learn about various mental health services that exist. I also talk about my experiences using many of these type of services. You can find a link of this video in the video description. To learn about future video releases, please subscribe to the LD Journey channel or follow us on social media by visiting the link in the video description. Don't forget to like the video if the content interests you, and share your comments if you have something to say. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.